To order and do the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, need the roll call?
Zardi?
It's Bill's call. Oh, there you go. Here.
Sotheby?
Here.
Fisher?
Here.
Hundwig?
Here.
Dunn? Here.
Okay. Approval of the agenda.
I make a motion that we approve the agenda.
Oh, ma'am.
Oh.
I texted Sue earlier this afternoon, see if we could potentially put in the drone back into the agenda.
Under 8D, is that where you want it, or?
Are you asking me?
She asked where you want it on the
Oh,
agenda.
sure, I guess.
Do we have any new business?
No.
Okay, I'll remake my motion to approve the agenda as amended.
Support.
Okay, we have a motion by Sotheby, supported by Dunn. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Public comments on non-agenda items? Okay. Approval of the minutes from the meeting of March 27th.
We move to approve.
Support. We have a motion by Dunn, supported by Fisher. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Bill review.
I'll make a motion to approve bills from April 3rd, 2017 to April 17th, 2017 for a total of $20,052.25.
I'll second that.
Supported by Sotheby. Bill, do you want to do roll call, please?
Sotheby?
Yes.
Fisher?
Yes.
Zardi?
Yes.
Hundwig?
Yes.
Dunn? Yes.
Okay. We have the revenue expense report for 2016 year end.
Move to receive and file.
Support.
Okay, we have a motion by Dunn, supported by Fisher. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Then we have the year-to-date revenue expense report for 2017.
Move to approve.
Support.
Move to receive and file.
Okay, we have a motion by Dunn, supported by Fisher. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. And then we have, lastly, the invoice distribution report for March 2017.
Move to receive and file.
Support.
Okay, we have a motion by Dunn, supported by Fisher. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Unfinished business. OCTV employee handbook. I know it's got Lori's name down there, but I did talk to Bob, and he will have it for the next meeting. So I guess we'll entertain a motion to set aside.
I'll move to set it aside.
Support.
Okay, we have a motion by Dunn, supported by Fisher. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. And relocation of the studio.
Just for your information, look at page number 16, was an estimated pricing if we moved up to at the park. That was an estimate for the architect. Could not be the actual figure, but it's a guesstimate.
Laura?
Do we have any indication, or was there any discussion as to what that includes? Does it include the flooring, offices, furniture, or is that just the shell of the building?
The furnishing is different. That's totally priced with the architect. He would know the price for the cost of our budget. He will detail what we will need to do in the flooring and the side and things like that. Guess what? His price was
120.
Yeah, 125,
100
yeah.
to 150.
Right, 100 to 150, so one of that range somewhere, depending on what our budget says.
Ed?
Are you using a different architect than what Ron Davis is using?
Same one?
Same one? Okay.
Uh-oh.
Bill?
You're
Nudge
right-
me.
You're right-handed.
It's
right?
like,
I know that Bill Service, he met with you, I know Shar, and he met with me, so I was glad to see that since we're kind of the ones that are supposed to be reporting back. But I did talk to Ron about the estimate on when he would be putting this addition on, and it will not be this year. So it'll be the following year. They don't have enough to complete it this year, and they need one more year to get it in place. If we choose to go there.
Lori?
I know we talked about a couple different square footage. I guess that we were investigating how much square footage. Were there any drawings that were done of?
I did for Bill and Shar.
Okay. Would it be possible to email those out?
It's a big old board, but I'll bring it to you.
Oh, or take a picture and
Yeah.
Okay,
your
we'll do
phone
that.
and send it?
Sure,
Is that a
sure.
24 by 36?
Yeah, 35,
I
23.
guess
something
what
like that.
is the depth of the building?
Right,
35 feet?
35, right.
Okay, so we have opportunity to move it lengthwise, but depth is 35 feet?
And the garage is double,
Pardon?
it's a double garage beside it, or right attached to it, I mean.
And can we live without a garage?
With that garage, we need that. And we'd like a double garage for more storage on that side for equipment. So we don't have to move it into the studio area. So we move into the van. If we're going to a remote somewhere, that's what the van is for. When we come back from remote, the best thing to put it into the van, pulling the equipment out all the time, in and out. So that's what the garage is for, to put it in there. And then some more equipment for Elgin to fix, repair equipment and storage of other stuff. He likes to save everything. But
Well, with the van being parked inside the garage, I guess one of the things I liked about the idea of a van is that it was a big billboard sitting outside, but with it in a garage, we're kind of missing that opportunity. But I understand it's difficult to load and unload. And
Right.
So, I just want
Yeah, go
how does the
ahead.
1960 compare to what you have now?
2,800, I believe,
You have 2,800 now,
2,800 right now.
and you're going to sacrifice 1,000 square feet?
Right, right. And once again, with that, the
I
garage.
thought you were suffering with the space you had.
Right, that's what I thought too.
Yeah, we thought too.
I thought you guys only had like 1,500 or
I think
1,800.
now.
I would like to see some of these figures written down. This is really hard to try and discuss something when you have nothing but people throwing out numbers. I want to see some numbers down on a piece of paper. What you actually have now, what you're planning on building, what it's going to include.
Well, our time frame's
Cetera, et
now
cetera.
been extended, right? So
For
we
another year.
don't have to make a decision till when?
Christmas.
Okay, so I guess that solves that.
Yeah, I think the regular building that we're talking about is like 1,780, 1,780, I believe, and another 5,400 square feet for the garage. So we'll actually total of miss.
5,000 square feet for a
5,000
garage?
500 square, 500 square feet, I'm
Five
sorry.
or 600.
So it'll be less than 200 square feet of the total new building versus the present building we have right now. And when we have the studio right now, we're wasting a bunch of warehouse stuff.
Are you talking about a detached garage?
No, attached to the building, attached to the building.
I would think, obviously, security's going to be an issue.
The issue of what?
Security being an issue just because kids, for some reason, think that, you know, a detached building would be more fun to break into, I guess, so. But if it's attached.
Is this square footage, is it can you adjust this?
Yes,
You can go up,
out, farther to the east.
but so you can make it bigger.
So 35 depth of the building is set, but we can make it as long as we want.
I know it's hard to visualize it, but the far west end is 2-story. And you could probably do that
Did you
on
get
the
it?
east end where we're going to be, to make it look very similar. You know how the.
Is it a north and south?
No, east-west. Where the entrance is?
Yeah.
It's 2-story.
Right.
So if you put a 2-story on the other end, it would look fine. It would match.
Wouldn't we have to put an elevator in, or, we wouldn't?
It's not for the public, it's for cable commission.
So you can make your employees walk up and down stairs, but not the public?
You're asking questions that I'm not going to answer. I'm not sure.
I think all federal or government buildings have to be ADA compliant, regardless who's using them.
Right?
Well, then
That's
tell
what
it
I
to Park
thought
and
too.
Rec.
You know, I don't know what the rules are for an existing facility, you know, but if you construct something new, that has to be ADA compliant. Something that's already there, if you're remodeling it, maybe you don't have to, I don't know.
I think you can, I'm just speaking of gossip that I hear, but I know I've heard other developers say that if they had a historic building or existing building, you can apply to the state and get that waived. Because like Sullivan's, for
Right.
instance, did that.
I don't
And-
think an elevator.
So and I think Chuck Schneider has done that in the building he had too, but,
But they're not a government entity though either.
right. I think these are all questions that we need to write down and
Is NODA a government
come up with
agency?
I don't
Not
think
NODA,
so.
Is the cable commission, is that a government building?
I don't know. Write it down.
We
These
get
are all
a
questions that we
property
need.
tax exemption based on that we are a governmental entity.
Or 501c3?
It's not a
No.
501c3.
Funded by franchisees.
Sounds like me and Shar have work to do.
Yeah, I think that we need to have a bunch
I
of
mean,
questions.
we'll get together with, we're not in any big hurry, but I think we could meet at least once a month and come up with some of the answers that they want.
Okay.
Berger should be able to help you.
Oh,
Berger?
sure. But again, we'll get together and report back. At some point, we're gonna have to decide whether we want to make this move or not.
That's for sure.
I think it's a smart way to go.
I mean, the board is sometimes.
Yeah, right.
Come up with some, doesn't have to be tonight.
Well, this delay, though, actually, I think works more to our advantage, so.
That's
Is it the
correct.
lease too?
Okay, so we're gonna set this aside till, or we talked about it and that's it. Next thing is the 2017 budget revision. Lori?
I'd like to set that aside again. I did check with Deanna Cushing, and there is not a firm audit number for 2016 yet.
Okay, do I have a second for that?
I'll second it.
Here we have a motion from Fisher to set aside, supported by Sotheby. All in favor?
All right.
Post same sign. And the drone purchase?
I apologize for that. Last Friday, Elgin talked to Charter and asked for him to see how the households in Addison Township and Leonard for information. And he talked to the person about who people's out there, and he said, Addison Township and Leonard are wild, running crazy. Wires going everywhere. They're running behind how fast they are going into Leonard and Oxford. In last year's 6 months of last year, we had 9,301 new households came into Addison and Leonard. That converting into next year, that means pretty good money coming this year. That gives me some
9,000 homes?
9,000 in the last 6 months last year in Charter. 9,301.
He doesn't mean new builds.
We don't have
But that's-
9,000.
Those are new hookups,
I was
right?
gonna
Yeah, right,
say,
that's
are there
charter-
9,000
charter-
homes
charter
in there
people, yeah.
in Addison?
Charter people, yeah.
Charter signups.
Right.
Not for just Addison.
And Leonard.
We only
don't
have
have-
3,200 parcels,
that
and we
could be
only have
Oxford, too.
2,400.
No, it's not, no, Oxford is slow compared to Addison and Leonard.
Do you have Malvy?
You don't have that many people in that community.
Right.
Well, Leonard had some problems of a different email they didn't like, and they're moving up to charter, and they don't like A&T charter, so, anyway, Addison went up 18,000 in one, Leonard 1,299, that's 9,301 in 6 months, which means next double year, we're gonna at least that. Plus, we've saved,
Homes.
I'm gonna have to holler BS.
why?
They don't have that many
There's not
homes
that
out
many
there,
homes.
Bill.
Oh, these are dollars, the dollars, that we get revenue for those people.
Oh, not units.
You said
I'm sorry,
homes.
I'm
You said
sorry.
homes.
Yeah, this is the money for charter, the money.
Okay, I take
Yeah.
the BS back.
Pull back. Thank you, I thought I confused you,
That's me.
okay.
That's
But
me.
that's the money we're getting, that's the dollars we're talking, not the households, but the money.
We've actually got that money in pocket, or they're just
We did.
conversing and saying that we
No,
have
that
this.
charter gave us we saw the revenue that came in the 6 months of last year, and that's the money 6 months from last year. That's 9,000 more than last year, so we
Can you
anticipate.
furnish us that report?
Pardon me?
Can you furnish us that report so we can see it in writing?
Oh, sure. Oh, sure. Yeah. We got copies of the checks, yeah, sure.
9,000 more.
We can essentially see the charter growth on the reports. If you look at page 11 and then 12. So the charter line item is the 296,000,669.001 franchise fees Addison Township, and then Oxford, and then the two villages below that. So charter is definitely growing because our check for Oxford was 90,000, and we get 2 of those a year, so that would put us at around 180,000 for the 2 years. We only have 163 budgeted based on the previous year, so that was definitely higher than expected, but we always have to remember then that the AT&T is going to decline a bit. So good news, Bill, but I will also mention that the last time charter came through and expanded in Addison, they pulled permits roughly 4 to 6 months before we saw them come in, and I have not seen any permits being pulled yet. But hopefully they'll offset each other and charter will grow and.
Yeah, I hope so too. But anyway, with that, the 9,000 I was talking about for 6 months, we can pretty much sure we're going to have 9,000 2017, at least a minimum. But we have saved in our hours for the first 3 months. I can say we'd save at least $12,000 or $13,000 an hour by saving our hours by our people. With our concern with the mud thing going on in June 2nd or 3rd, and the lacrosse tournament going at Seymour Park at the same weekend, it's a good opportunity for us to show the station with the drone to help those events for this year. So that's why, only reason I pushed it, because it came from that Elgin gave us that information Friday. So if you would approve that $1,799 drone that we budgeted in this budget, we'd love to appreciate that and get it in this year before June. And we also have the operational manuals that we have for everybody here that we did for the operational manual for the drone, if everybody would to look at it.
Well, that was never given to the Cable Commission, that big thing.
I didn't hear that.
I'm not looking at it now to make a decision, at least I'm not. But I want to see those figures, Bill, other
Oh,
than
I'd
you
be
just
happy
quoting
to.
them.
I'd be happy to, sure.
How long would it take you to purchase a drone and get it up and running and use it effectively so you know what you're doing with it?
Well, we'd have to, first we get order it, it'll be in about a week later, and then take us a couple, 3 weeks to play with it. So we want to get ready by June 3rd or
So
something.
you
or
need
3rd.
an answer like in the next, before the next meeting.
Oh, before, yeah.
I don't have a problem with the drone. I don't think the expense is that big a deal compared to where we're sitting right now. I think where the drone makes more sense is that government agencies in the communities can use that. The police, Parks and Rec, the schools, whatever, they can use it for their, for a benefit that they might have for it. And it would be a good PR move on our part to lend it out to all these, agencies or government agencies to utilize the drone for their needs.
We need to have some discussion about that, because do we really want to loan it out to an untrained police department, untrained fire department,
Well,
untrained schools?
I would expect that they would know what they're
I think there needs to be
doing.
some rules and regulations and some training about this. And I just don't, it's never been discussed, it's just been an idea that's floating around there, and then you guys asked to have it put on hold. And I'm not ready to make that kind of a decision. I'm sorry. This is operating by the seat of our pants and at the last minute trying to get decisions made. I don't like that.
In the last November, December, we came in, we talked about the drone, and Elgin gave us about a long spiel about how we're going to do it, and we all thought it was a very good idea at that time. That's why we put it in the
I
budget.
do think it's a good idea, Bill, but I have seen no policies, no procedures, no training, nothing in writing that you guys have put forth to this board. Bill?
I met with some people this morning along with the fire department. I think there's a program coming along that's going to be having a drone that's going to be used by the fire department, police department, whatever. I can't say much about it. I will have a lot more to say about it in the near future. I'm the one that wanted the drone, but the timing is not right to be purchasing a drone. There's going to be something big coming up.
Yeah.
Big for our community. Sorry about that.
Submarine is diving.
Mike Solo. Mike, I have to call you back. Mike, I have to call you back.
Geez, I wonder where you were born.
Mexico?
But again, there's only been one meeting about this, and I really can't say much about it. But again, I'm for the drone. I was for us having it, but if someone else is going to come up with it, and it's going to be pretty elaborate, the capabilities, and each part of the community is going to be able to use it, whether fire service, police, whatever.
Well, one of the proposals that we had was that we would be a center of expertise. We would not only lend the drone, we would also have the personnel that would operate it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right. Terry?
Terry?
So is that negating the fact that it would also have been used initially for photography, videography?
I don't know that. I don't want to talk about it, but there's going to be something big coming
So
down
does
the
that
pipe.
mean that we should not talk about one for us then? Because there's going to be one in the community, and so we won't need it for videography and...
I don't know that, but
So
it's
you-
up to me as an elected official. If I have information, whether I'm for a project or against a project, I think I have to put it out there. Do I have all the answers? No, I don't.
Right, but I guess what I'm trying to get clear is, should we not even talk about it till this one takes precedence, or do we still want to go ahead and get a drone for OCTV?
I just wanted to put out the
Yeah, I
information
understand
that
what you're
there's another
saying.
program coming up, and it's coming up pretty quick.
Okay, I understand that. But I guess I still want to put it out there that we could still utilize it at the studio or for the studio for what we're doing for promos for the community, et cetera. However, I have no problem waiting to find out what this is all about either.
Well, we're just pushing for the drone for the mud that weekend. If we want to delay it for us, then
That's fine.
we'll certainly survive. We don't need it that, it would be nice to have it, but if you don't have it, we'll miss it.
And if you don't get it, I'm pretty sure I could get a drone for you. I hate bringing this stuff up. I mean, but I
Well,
have to.
don't talk about it anymore. I mean, you brought it up. I think we all understand sitting here that you can't talk about it, so I don't think we should keep pressing you for answers that you can't.
I'm explaining
anything.
why I was so gung-ho on a drone, and all of a sudden it seems like I've turned my back on it. I haven't. I'm just reporting
Right.
news.
Well, I gave my reasons that I don't want to purchase one right now because I have seen nothing. And so I'm
Did you want to hand
not
that?
interested in it. I don't know how anybody else feels.
I thought we actually had approved the purchase.
We did.
We did.
But in light of Bill's report, I guess I make the motion to set the drone purchase aside. And perhaps, I think that the next meeting maybe falls on Memorial Day. So maybe if we had to, if Bill can't come up with a drone, maybe we move our May meeting up.
I can come up with a drone.
I'll second your motion.
Oh, crap, me.
Okay,
Oh,
we have a motion by Fisher, supported by Sotheby, to set this aside. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign.
opposed?
Okay,
Mixed
motion
messages.
passes. Okay, we
Bill,
have
why
no
are you
new
opposing
business.
What's
Yeah,
that?
why are you opposing it?
Well, it already passed, and, I was the one that brought up the drone. I feel bad.
And you should.
I truly do, but
I don't see that there's anything to feel bad about.
No.
Things,
believe me, I'm not gonna
circumstances
lose any
change.
sleep soon.
No,
I'm just
no, no.
saying, I feel bad about bringing it up and then
I know.
voting against it. Already passed anyhow.
Okay. Committee reports. Does anybody have anything on technical? Personnel? No. Facilities, we already had that. Managers report?
Jimmy Hughes is back, by the way, and cranky as usual. TriCast is back and is working fine. We haven't got the bill yet. We're anticipating, what,
Anywhere between $700 to maybe $950.
700 to 900 or so, we think. And that's about all the manager, that's all I have right now.
What was wrong with the TriCaster?
The what, I'm sorry?
What ended up being the problem?
Motherboard failed.
What was the motherboard?
It went to the factory to fix it.
Very
Okay.
unusual, according to them, that happened, but not, and I want to make this very clear, not because it was abused by our staff or anything.
Oh, heavens, no.
It was
No.
an unusual occurrence, but it wasn't because it's not run properly.
I never thought of that.
I didn't think, I'm not implying that you did, but it has been tossed around.
And they didn't hear that, unfortunately, Terry. You got it?
I just want them to.
Oh, okay.
Not us to do it.
Okay. Commissioner comments? Ed?
No comment.
Lori?
No comment?
Char?
None?
I have none. Bill?
No.
Okay.
Move to adjourn.
Public comment?
Oh,
None?
sorry.
Okay. That's all right. I just don't want to. Motion by Dunn, supported by Fisher. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.